Well, from dancing pigs to bell-ringing bears, we've got the news that proves that the world is a zoo on In Case You Missed It. Well, congratulations to Giuseppe Paterno, who just became Italy's oldest college graduate, and for the second time. 2 years ago, he got a degree in history and philosophy at the age of 96. And now he's out of the master's degree at the age of 98. By the way, he got top marks too. Although, let's be fair, history class is a whole lot easier when you've lived through most of it, okay?
You can move out of his parents' basement now, which is kind of nice. But he did, most college students, they do tend to get a tattoo, you know, on graduation. His was, do not resuscitate. Smart on his part.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Now, as a boy, Giuseppe loved studying, but he was too poor to go to college, so he became a railway worker. He's been working on the railroad all the livelong century. And now he's making up for lost time. Next, he plans to write a novel on his old manual typewriter, or having a double master's in history and philosophy. It also qualifies him to become Italy's oldest Starbucks employee. Too bad the guy's not an American. I mean, he could become president or something, you know, at that age. Okay, they turned on me. Well, speaking of great accomplishments, Bob Salem of Colorado just became the first man in this century and only the fourth ever to push a peanut to the top of Pike's Peak with his nose. Why? Because it was there. He actually needed a special device to protect his nose because it took him 7 days. He did break the previous record of 8 days. He also broke the record for the squirreliest thing that ever has been done with a peanut. And by the way, that includes squirrels. This is something new for us. I mean, usually when I have a story that involves nuts and a lot of pointless effort, we're talking about Congress. So, next, we head to Belgium, where scientists are investigating a claim by a farmer that his pigs react to music. Piet Peesmans has a playlist for his pigs. Hey, try saying that 5 times real fast, okay? Now, he says his pigs don't like rock, especially not meatloaf. But lullabies put them to sleep, and when he wants them to get a little exercise, he says dance music makes them wag their tails and dance and frolic around. But these guys are real hams, yeah. They do have musical chops, yep. And they're doing the bacon boogie every day out there. By the way, scientists are now studying them to see if playing music to pigs improves the meat. Like, do baby back ribs taste better if the pigs dance to Baby Got Back? I don't know.
You really just brought Baby Got Back on this show.
There you go. Hey, give that study a government grant. Why not? There's been dumber things done. Hey, and you've heard the phrase, keep it between the lines? That's not easy in Hollister, California. KSBW-TV reports that new lane lines were supposed to be painted on a city road. You know, straight yellow lines down the middle and white lines on the shoulders. But somehow, here is what they got. That right there. Now, the mayor called the zigzag lane lines the strangest thing he'd ever seen and said it was the result of contractors misreading the instructions. Although the lines were so crooked, people assumed that the government was being responsible with this. Of course, this is what happens when you legalize marijuana recreationally.
Wow.
The contractor agreed to fix it at no charge, you think? But until then, drivers were urged just to stay to the right. But hey, this is California, so they kept veering to the left no matter what.
It's a problem in Hollywood, I would think. You put white lines down in front of Hollywood, they're gonna be sniffing. But the good news is, Gov, the young kids in Hollywood, the millennials, they don't do the cocaine anymore because the mirror obscures their picture. They don't want to, they'll see themselves in the mirror. So that's a good trend for the
That's
America.
too painful true to be funny.
Yes.
but it was funny.
It wasn't that funny.
Well, finally, our video of the week. Wendy Watson of Greenville County, South Carolina, was awakened at 3:30 in the morning by someone pressing her doorbell. She checked the security video, and this is what she saw right here. It was a bear ringing her doorbell. Now, you wonder if bears learn how to ring doorbells, that's going to make Halloween trick-or-treating really scary. Now, Wendy knows that bear. It's been around before, and I'm pretty sure it will come back and ring her doorbell again because it's clearly a Jehovah's Witness, without a doubt.
That is terrible.
So what I'm talking about, when a bear attacks you, you're supposed to lay down like you're dead, which is great preparation for what's getting ready to happen.
Well, that's probably all that you can bear. So we're going to pause there. But until next time, always remember that we read the news. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I hope you will now. The button is just below this video, and there's a little bell next to it. If you click on those, YouTube will reluctantly start letting you know when we've got a new video uploaded.